Morning and welcome to the chat on Newsday Amarillo and News Channel 10-2. I'm David Lovejoy.
And I'm the Hot Plates pundit, Dan Butcher.
And I'm Chuckalicious, Chuck Williams.
And it just seemed like it started just a few days ago, but it's the last June Jazz of the season. Dr. Laughlin, his great series on the campus of Amarillo College. Tomorrow night, we've got some great artists performing. Austin Brazil and Mr. Sean Volks, they'll be a part of the celebration. Guys, welcome to the show. How are y'all doing this morning?
We're doing great. Thank you. You guys doing well?
We cannot complain. Cannot complain. Now, you guys, I've heard some of your music. You were just telling me about a collaboration you guys put together recently. Austin is prolific in what he does around the community and around the country, playing his music. The question we've asked a lot of people when it comes to jazz, is it still a viable art form? Is it still as popular? When I was a kid in high school, it was sort of a status symbol to know the latest contemporary or classic jazz, or know who was hot in jazz world. I don't know if we get that same feeling today. I mean, I can't tell you when the last time I saw a downbeat magazine.
A what?
A downbeat. See, that's where the cool people know a downbeat magazine.
Yeah, no, they still exist. I think they're online now. Are they not? But and things like that. But yeah, I think jazz is still a viable art form for sure. It's changed a lot over the years. You still have the old school style players, but you also have more modern bands like they're kind of crossovers like Snarky Puppy. Like they're selling out stadiums. Young kids are into bands like that, and through them, like they're full of jazz musicians, and through bands like that, they follow the lineage back down, and go back to Coltrane and Charlie Parker and all the original players.
I think you have guys like Wynton Marsalis that have really done a lot in the avenue of jazz education and help people understand that jazz is really a form of conversation. It is. So if you were saying, is jazz still have a place? It's like saying, does conversation still have a place? Well, yes, it absolutely does. Jazz is a very active live form of listening. It's almost like just we're here on this show talking back and forth here. And in much the same way, jazz is just musicians getting together and talking back and forth. You look at great jazz artists like Kenny Barron and Dave Holland that put together they put together an album a long time ago called The Art of Conversation. And then if you go back and you look at even popular mainstream movies like La La Land, you can see through all of those things that I just mentioned that really jazz is conversation. It is, I have something to say, then you have something to say, and we all contribute.
I guess in my own way of speaking, gentlemen, I guess I'm really not that modern when it comes to jazz. Hey, I'm still finger popping to Jerry Mulligan, And the way I'm looking at it right now, there was a way of going ahead and progressing off of that, is there not?
Yeah, I think you can follow a direct line from what happened today back to, Jerry Mulligan. Like every generation takes what's popular now and adds on to what's popular in the past. Miles Davis came from playing bebop with Charlie Parker, and from that, he started his own thing. It was way more laid back. And then from that, he went into fusion, and if he had still alive today, he'd be playing something completely different, I think. So I'd say there's a direct line back to those guys.
Dan?
Hey, guys, jazz has everything. It's got melody, it's got harmony, it's got rhythm, it's got a really cool thing called improvise. You can improvise, during it. And I think people don't realize, just how really cool jazz is. And when you listen to it, how it just makes you feel good.
Well, I think there's a great audience, and if you go out to June Jazz and you see the hundreds and hundreds of people that are out there, I'm encouraged by that and just the people that do get it. So my emphasis is less on the audience of people that are saying, hey, we don't want this, and more on the emphasis on the, hey, this is what we have to say, and come join this and come listen to it and be a part of it. And I spent, 5 days, 6 days last year in New York City going to jazz clubs, and we had hard time getting into some of them because they're so packed with people. So, you know, jazz definitely has a place. Now, would you say that it's the most mainstream? Does it have, you know, 80, 90%, even 50% of streams? No, of course it doesn't. That's, you know, part of the conversation. It has more of a niche audience, but I think the fact is when you go out to Amarillo College in June Jazz, you can see it. And it's not just one generation of people. It's multiple generations.
Right.
It's little kids walking around. I mean, I was playing the first June Jazz and a little kid comes up and he's taking pictures and, you know, it's a really good thing.
That is cool. We'll catch Austin Brazil and Sean Folks at this last June Jazz. It'll be underwritten by Tarpley Music. Festivities kick off at 7:30 right there in the Commons there at Amarillo College on the Washington Street campus, right there at the Ware Building patio there. Don't miss them tomorrow, the last June Jazz. Also, you can catch them at 89.9 FM 90 or by logging on to KACV.org. Guys, thank you. Have a great show tomorrow. We can't wait to hear you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
We'll get out of here. We'll be back with more chat right after this.